Hello and welcome back. Today I'm here with an update as Prince Harry and Meghan have showed support for their community amid the wildfires that were ravaging Los Angeles. Prince Harry and Meghan offered their support and aid to those impacted by the fires that erupted beginning on Tuesday, January the 7th. Over 100,000 Los Angeles residents have been forced to evacuate following the Palisades and Eaton fires, with multiple smaller fires raging. So they were spotted consoling victims and also talking to first responders. And we had images here of the Sussexes in conversation not only with those who have been affected, but in the images we can see that they were talking to and consoling the mayor of Pasadena, Victor Gordo. So Meghan was there. She showed up dressed in a light blue shirt, a blue baseball cap written LA on it, and Harry was wearing a black baseball cap and a black shirt. So the duo were seen once again, as I said, who talked to the mayor of Pasadena. And the Sussexes were also seen handing out food parcels on Friday at the Pasadena Convention Center, which is being used as an evacuation center. We also saw them hugging the founder of World Central Kitchen, Jose Andres, as the organization distributes meals to those affected. The couple, as we know, live about 90 miles north of the Los Angeles area, and Meghan, who is originally from LA, was visibly touched, as you could see her in conversation. So according to People, they understand that they focused on discreetly supporting wildfire relief efforts, witnessing both harrowing stories and strong community spirit. They donated essential supplies, served meals, as I mentioned before, with World Central Kitchen, and connected with affected families and elderly individuals. Alongside Jennifer Siebel Newsom, first partner, and Pasadena's Mayor Victor Gordo, they thanked first responders, including LA County firefighters and police. So we also see images of them at the food stations. They are wearing masks. I wonder how many people they actually served who were not even aware that it was the Sussexes who were there. So they have also contributed monetary donations and plan to continue supporting recovery and rebuilding efforts with future visits. And there was footage published by the local news outlet Fox 11 that covered them conversing with Mayor Gordo and fellow volunteers. And when he was asked what it meant to have Harry and Meghan there, he said, quote, "It's great people, great personalities, and great heart for them to come out here and meet with the first responders, meet with the people who were affected. It's very important," end quote. He also added that Harry and Meghan, quote, "really buoyed the spirits of the first responders," end quote. And their time in Pasadena included a stop at the command post at the Rose Bowl, where Gordo said, quote, "people were very happy to see them," end quote. He also went on to add, quote, "they want to be as helpful as they can be. We visited with some of the affected families in some of the burned out areas in Pasadena and Altadena. They took the time to meet the people that are affected and spent time. They're just very caring people who are concerned for their friends and neighbors," end quote. He also noted that Harry and Meghan's foundation, that has long-standing ties with WCK and Chef Andres, visited the center anonymously, in quotes, earlier on Friday. He went on to say, quote, "no one knew they were serving food with masks." And he said Harry and Meghan's appearance was not for publicity, in quotes, and he added that they wanted to work. He added, quote, "we went to visit some of the families in the impacted area and view firsthand some of the impacted area, and then they wanted to go and visit the first responders and personally thank them for their efforts to help families and their neighbors," end quote. So there was an article that offered such an in-depth look at Harry and Meghan's time, and this part really stood out. So listen. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, escorted through the city by Mayor Victor Gordo, got a first-hand look at the destructive path of the Eaton fire, which, driven by ferocious winds, tore through the region. So Gordo said, quote, "they wanted to offer their assistance, encourage the first responders, lift the spirits of volunteers, and just say to people, hang in there," end quote. The couple, dressed incognito and wearing N95 masks with Harry wearing a hat, visited the evacuation center at the Pasadena Convention Center, which has housed many of those young and old displaced by the fire, which exploded into existence on Tuesday. They canvassed to the areas where full neighborhoods had been decimated, and then to the Rose Bowl, where first responders had set up their emergency response hub. At the convention center, Prince Harry, Meghan, who was from LA, and Gordo visited with the people. At one point, Gordo said he lost track of Harry. A few minutes later, he spotted him sitting next to a bedridden elderly man. Gordo pushed a food cart over, and Prince Harry asked the man if he wanted a sandwich, maybe a tangerine or some water. The gentleman said, "What I'd really like is a donut," in quotes, and Gordo said as he described the moment, going on to say that Prince Harry said, quote, "There is no donut here, but I will find one." End quote. He took off, and 10 minutes later, he returns with a donut. The gentleman looks up and says, quote, "I guess I need my carbs and my sugar." End quote. That gentleman tonight is at the convention center and does not know it was Prince Harry who brought him that donut. End quote. He did tell Prince Harry, quote, "If you ever run for anything, I'll vote for you." End quote. Gordo described the man as saying as Harry walked away from him. So the visit by the couple who live in Montecito itself was hastily organized, Gordo said, but it was full of humanity, including serving food, greeting the first responders at the Emergency Operations Center, and ultimately meeting and hugging with people rummaging through the rubble of their homes. The article here also said, quote, "Tragedy often brings out the best of humanity. My heart goes out to all of the people who have been affected by the devastation brought on by this fire. I witnessed neighbors helping one another selflessly, first responders leaving it all on the field," end quote. And he went on to add, quote, "From the very top of our social echelon to the most in need, we all have to bind together in this moment," end quote. So yes, I wanted to add that story here to bring to your attention the amount of humanity that was witnessed by people who just got this opportunity to have people visit with them, sit with them, listen to them, and serve them. And of course, that elderly gentleman who was brought that donut by the Duke of Sussex, when he truly does sit back after a while and take it all in, he will get to say, yeah, they were there for them. And even in the big gestures and even in the smaller ones of Harry going and determining to get him a donut, it all matters in the great scheme. So I just wanted to share that with you. That was just such a moving story. So as we also know, the couple opened up their Montecito home to friends and loved ones who were forced to evacuate. They did release a statement, which I did share, saying, quote, "In the last few days, wildfires in Southern California have raged through neighborhoods and devastated families, homes, schools, medical care centers, and so much more, afflicting tens of thousands from all walks of life," end quote. They shared information to resources such as World Central Kitchen, Airbnb, Baby to Baby, and more, which are providing supplies. So the Eaton fire is the second largest fire that has ravaged this week. As of Friday, the blaze had burned nearly 14,000 acres and is at 3% containment. At least 5 of the 11 confirmed fatalities have been as a result of the fire, which is only second to the Palisades fire in terms of destruction. Entire communities in the area have been burned to the ground, and nearby Pasadena has also been threatened. So we have images there, Harry and Meghan, of them also walking along, seeing the destruction firsthand. And I know that as Harry and Meghan have made the US their base, and Meghan, who was born and raised in LA, this time must be so emotional and sad for them. And as I mentioned, they did open up their homes. They have shown financial support, and they've also been on the ground, rolled up their sleeves, and gotten to work. By the way, allow me here to say it was so fascinating to watch the Fox 11's coverage of Meghan and Harry going out to support the affected. They could not stop saying positive things about Meghan, about this being her hometown, saying of course she would want to help, and it was just effusive. And it was just so good to see another mainstream outlet being so positive about Meghan, positive about the Sussexes. How refreshing. So as he mentioned, they had uplifted the spirits of those who were the first responders and also those who they went to visit at the command post. And the mayor of Pasadena, you could tell he was so moved by their appearance and efforts. So Harry and Meghan, they are not doing this for PR. This is something that they have done all the while, even before, during the pandemic, we remember seeing Harry and Meghan in those pictures going door to door, delivering food. We've seen them doing this time and time again, going to areas where people are affected and trying to do their best and giving. Very importantly, they do give resources. So it's good to see that they will do this, and I'm looking forward to much more from the Sussexes, even as we know they've opened up their homes. So this is something that is so close to them, seeing their friends and loved ones who have lost their homes, as well as those in the community who have been impacted by the blazes that have swept through the region. A lot of people have lost their homes. So kudos to the Sussexes. Share your thoughts with us on this news in the comment section below. And now, before we log off, as always, allow me here to thank those of you who support this channel financially and shout out a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you to you, Anna M. Jackson. Thank you for choosing to be a part of this channel and showing your support time and time again. Thank you for giving and for the tremendous kindness for choosing to accompany me here on this YouTube journey. You are cherished and loved. Thank you. A very special thank you to you, Betty Wright. Thank you for being one of the first people to support this channel financially. I truly appreciate you. You are such a blessing, not only to me, but to my channel. I love you and I pray for God to bless you and yours. Thank you. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel financially, and to those of you who like, comment, and share. Thank you. So once again, we send our love to those who've been affected by fires in Los Angeles and California. Not only to you, but those of you who may be watching who have undergone various kinds of disasters. Know that we love you and are praying for you. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Once again, comment below, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.